Welcome in, everyone. I'm SquishableMoon, your shooting star alien VTuber with a ranch addiction and fewer brain cells than your common garden snail. And welcome to my newest video. So, some quick information before we get into the meat and potatoes of my video. My computer, one of the parts broke like last week or the week before, and basically, my computer blue screened on me right when I was about to upload my last video. So that video, all my files, my stills, my speed draws, even my art brushes were lost. All of my stuff was lost because I unfortunately did not back up any of my stuff because I'm stupid. So we lost that video. Unfortunately, it was a My Little Pony video talking about next gen characters. If you guys want me to make it again, I totally can, but I won't be able to show it right now until I remake it. I was able to replace the part, do not worry, I got it replaced. The part was basically brand new. I'm up and going now. We'll have more content soon, I assure you. But I do want to say, since I did lose all of my stills, there aren't going to be many stills in this video of my new design or my old design. I lost them all. I have to redraw them all from hand. It's a lot. It sucks. So there's only going to be a couple of stills in this video. I'm really sorry about it, guys. I'm doing my best to redraw them all, but for now we have a couple. If you are here to see the winner of the last contest I held, please make sure to stay till the end of the video where I announce who won. And I am really glad to be making a new character. I'm going to be doing another free raffle, hopefully in my next video, so keep a lookout for that. And yeah, congratulations to who won. You'll see that at the end of the video. Thanks for listening, guys. We can get into it now. So I know I'm not the only one who has seen the infection My Little Pony stuff on my feed. It seems like My Little Pony is making a comeback in the last couple of weeks with all of this infection AU. By the way, I need to stop watching scary My Little Pony content before bed because it is giving me nightmares and I cannot sleep after watching it because some of them are really scary. So basically the tag is My Little Pony Infection AU. It's been a popular tag going around with fans making content based on My Little Pony or the My Little Pony main 6 getting infected with illness or like zombie-like attributes. Some of the ponies have become trees, some of them have become rotting candy zombies, and some of them just straight up dying. So it's like My Little Pony creepypasta, like the community is coming back again, which I'm here for. I love My Little Pony creepypasta stuff, like Grimdark, and I love that. It's great. I love that so much. My favorite is I think it's called the Apple Sleep Experiment. That one really hits hard. I love that one. I'm watching, or at least listening to the audiobook of another Apple Sleep Experiment. I haven't finished it. Do not spoil it. I would love to know if you guys have any favorite My Little Pony fan fiction, scary or not. I would love to hear them. So this is going to be a kind of like a mix of My Little Pony Infection AU and then just My Little Pony in general. There isn't any gore or anything too scary about my AU, so if you're worried about being too scared, do not worry. I am horrible at scary content. My art is not scary. There is no scary visuals, no scary story attributes. Nothing in this is absolutely horrifying. It's more just kind of concerning. So bear with me. I'm not the best at writing just small little backstories for characters, so I really went out of my comfort zone to write this, but I really enjoyed writing it because it also helped me as a writer in general. So my AU, my infection plus regular AU, is called Cutie Mark Madness. My AU is also loosely based off of a real illness called, I think it's called Cabra syndrome. Please excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's French and I'm Texan, okay? It's a rare condition in which someone believes that their loved ones or others that they know have been replaced with doubles or imposters. The belief is so strong that nothing can really correct this illusion. Now, I've heard of this syndrome before, and I always thought it was really interesting, and I always thought that this would be a more common syndrome just because I don't know, it just feels like more people would have it. but it is a rare syndrome. I've never met anyone who has it. If you have it, I would love, honestly, to hear about it in the comments. But like I said, it's loosely based on this. I needed a starting point to make my own illness, so I went with real illnesses instead. I do want to say that just because my AU is loosely based off this doesn't mean that my depiction of this illness is correct or anything like the real illness. It is just a stepping block for me to create my own. So, cutie mark madness, also known as forgotten mark syndrome, is a condition in which some pony believes that their cutie mark or somebody else's cutie mark has been replaced by a fake or different cutie mark. They also believe that their friends and family have been replaced with changelings. The belief is so strong that it is almost impossible to correct this illusion. You see what I'm going with? Pretty similar to the Cabra syndrome, but a little bit different to fit in the My Little Pony universe. So this video is going to be about Princess Twilight. I'm only going to do one pony per video, mainly just because it allows me to really flesh out the kind of story that I want to make per character. Instead of doing 3 or more in a video, I'm just going to do 1 and then I can focus on that. So today we're going to be doing Twilight Sparkle. I'm doing her first because she's basically the main character of My Little Pony. Princess Twilight Sparkle was inside her castle when word of the outbreak came, interrupting a very important meeting with her friends, the Elements of Harmony. A new illness was spreading throughout Canterlot, and they were able to contain it there. However, Princess Celestia was worried of it breaking out in other places. The cause was a bite from an unreformed changeling. While unreformed changelings were uncommon, they did happen from time to time. A kid biting another kid wasn't anything rare. Changelings were no exception. Until that day. The bite wasn't between 2 kids arguing, but from a grown adult changeling to another adult unicorn. At first, the bite wasn't anything serious, and was quickly treated at a nearby hospital like any other injuries. The unicorn confirmed now as Chancellor Naysay complained of headache and itchy skin, but otherwise seemed unharmed apart from the bite on his front left leg. The changeling was also brought to the hospital at the same time. It was a lot more personable than expected. They were confirmed to be Squirlight of the Changeling Hive, on their way to see Princess Twilight in Ponyville. They were only meaning to stop by Canterlot and see some of the sights when Chancellor Naysay had stopped them. Not only did the angry unicorn insult their appearance, but threatened to forcefully remove them from Canterlot themselves. When Squirlight chose to ignore Chancellor, he became violent, using his magic to forcefully remove the changeling himself. This was the moment the bite happened. As a form of self-defense, and out of fear, the changeling bit him. After the hospital visit, the two were sent to Princess Twilight in hopes of understanding the situation better. However, the meeting was less than productive. Chancellor Naysay was more than hostile to every pony, including Princess Twilight herself. He had never liked Twilight and her friends, especially not after the School of Friendship incident. He always found Princess Twilight to be too soft and welcoming to other species. He always saw her as a weak and timid princess that would ruin ponykind as he knew it. He especially didn't take kindly to her trying to make him be friends with a changeling of all things, nor the lecture on using magic against another creature against their will. In a fit of anger, Chancellor used his magic to force the changeling to bite Twilight, in hopes of making her understand how dangerous the outside creatures were to pony life. Thankfully, the guards outside were able to capture him before he had a chance to teleport out. The bite wasn't anything serious, but of course Twilight had it checked out by a medical professional. A few weeks later, reports of Chancellor Naysay's illness had filled Twilight's study. He had come down with very odd symptoms. The report said he was convinced someone had swapped his cutie mark, and was saying Princess Twilight had been replaced by a changeling. Twilight had tried to visit him and convince him she wasn't a changeling, of course, but he didn't believe her, or anyone else for that matter. All contact with him was prohibited after another pony was bitten by trying to give him his medicine. The ponies who were bit started to show the same symptoms as Chancellor Naysay. Twilight herself was also dealing with the strange symptoms of the illness, having fits of paranoia thinking she had never fixed her friend's cutie marks before coming back to her senses. Thankfully, her friends were there to help her along the way. Twilight had a hard time adjusting to the unsettling feeling of failing her friends, sometimes forcing them to sit on different thrones. Her friends were always willing to change seats if it was able to help Twilight feel more comfortable, but her symptoms only got worse as time went on. She would spend days locked in her study, forgetting to eat and not getting very much sleep, causing huge dark circles under her eyes and a malnourished complexion. The cause of the illness was found during this time. Changelings had a type of venom in their fangs before being reformed, causing hallucinations, confusion, and other creatures could come into The cause of the illness was found during this time. Changelings had a type of venom in their fangs before being reformed, causing hallucinations and confusion when other creatures come into contact with it. It was possible for the venom to wear off after rest and time, but could be fatal to those who weren't able to get past the mental anguish. It wasn't a very physical disease. Physically, anyone who had symptoms were completely healthy and fine. However, there was a constant war within their memories and mind. The mental stress someone would be under and dealing with could very well lead to the fatal blow ending in their life. Twilight was convinced her friends had the wrong cutie marks. Logically, Twilight knew they had the correct ones. However, logic can't overcome everything the mind can dish out. Of course, Twilight knew if she asked Starlight for the spell to change their cutie marks, there was no way she would just hand it over. Twilight started to learn more and more about the Changeling Hive, and about magical stones they used to make their homes in. The stone had a magical nullifying effect. All magic except Changeling magic would work there. She also learned that the Queen's venom was different than the drones and workers. However, she didn't know why it was different, or what it could do. Twilight told her friends about a plan to wake Chrysalis and question her about the cutie marks, and how to cure it. However, her friends disagreed with this plan. Her friends disagreeing only made Twilight begin to believe her friends had been replaced by changelings all along, and the person responsible being Chrysalis herself. Twilight used her magic to teleport outside of Tartarus, and made her way to the statue of T-Rex, Cozy Glow, and Chrysalis. Twilight knew she couldn't undo the spell that she used to turn Chrysalis into a statue without her friends. But she could use a spell to gather her memories. She used a very old spell to link their minds, and for a bit it worked. Twilight was able to swim through Chrysalis's memories and thoughts. But because of Twilight's impatience, she tried to learn too much in a short amount of time, and the spell backfired. However, Princess Celestia, using her magic, was able to lessen the backlash that Twilight was receiving because of the spell. Celestia for the first time would be extraordinarily mad with Twilight, raising her voice before hugging her. Celestia had rushed there to stop Twilight after receiving letters from her friends of what she planned to do. Twilight at this point would be a blubbering mess, telling Celestia about her friends and the cutie marks and the hard time she was having with the cutie mark madness before passing out. Twilight would be rushed to the hospital and would be unconscious for almost a whole month. During this time, her fur would start to darken into a dark purple. Her alicorn magic would also start to grow immensely, and her body would start to get taller. Her mouth developed large fangs that stuck out of her lips, and small circular holes would develop in her wings and legs, like that of a changeling. When the spell backfired, it didn't just split their minds, but also their magical ability. Part of Twilight would be part of Chrysalis, and Chrysalis would of course be part of Twilight. They weren't sure if this was a permanent effect of the spell backfiring, or if it would lessen over time. However, thanks to Twilight gaining some of the changeling powers, the cutie mark madness seemed to dissipate. When Twilight woke up, she apologized to all of her friends and the princesses for acting so irrationally when she was under the cutie mark madness. Of course, none of her friends or the princesses blamed her for her actions, and were just happy to see that she was okay. It took a couple of months before Twilight could return home, the doctors wanting to make sure she didn't have any relapses into the cutie mark madness or any weird side effects. It took a couple of months before Twilight could return home. the doctors wanting to make sure she didn't have any relapses into the cutie mark madness or any weird side effects from the spell backfiring other than the ones that were already visible. Essentially, Twilight had gained some changeling's powers and some characteristics in her appearance, but other than that, she seemed perfectly healthy. Twilight's appearance did shock a lot of the townsfolk when she returned. However, soon everyone got used to it and went back to treating her the same as usual. Twilight would have to learn to use her alicorn and changeling magic, basically having to relearn magic as a whole. But this also opened up her door for learning new spells that she would never be able to do without the changeling magic. Despite her jarring appearance, she was doing quite well at using her new magic, and was even on course to find a cure for the cutie mark madness to help other ponies. And with the help of her friends, she knew that anything was possible. That's the basis of what I have come up with. It's nothing too unique or in-depth, but I really like the way it came out. I think it fits Twilight's kind of overwhelming and need to fix things attitude. I feel like out of everyone, Twilight would be the person to sacrifice herself first for basically for the needs of her friends. I think Twilight would very much try to do something and then end up having it backfire on her. I also like the idea of Twilight and Chrysalis's minds kind of fusing and maybe them getting characteristics of each other. I think this could also be a good way for Chrysalis to be reformed, getting part of Twilight. It's not that the characters themselves lose the traits that they have, but they gain new attributes from the other. So Twilight is getting more of Chrysalis's appearance. Maybe she becomes more strong-willed or more driven like Chrysalis. And I like to think Chrysalis would maybe start to really develop a personality for friendship. She would actually start to develop feelings for T-Rex and Closey Glow, and maybe even towards the main six like Fluttershy, and wanting to be closer to them and wanting to be their friends. I really liked Chrysalis in the show. I think she was a very interesting villain. I kind of wish they had done more with her because I feel like she could have been a really terrifying enemy for them to face. Chrysalis is personally one of my favorites, so I think I'm going to be doing one of her too, but I'm not sure when because I do want to do the main characters first and then do some of the side characters. So yeah, Twilight is basically part changeling now. She is also going to develop into kind of like her taller alicorn phase a lot sooner instead of it being at the end of the show. And the cutie mark madness, or the forgotten mark syndrome, I think is going to be fixed. Well, fixed as in like cured. There'll be more treatment for it for ponies to kind of get over it. So it's not really a deadly or like super, I guess, fatal disease. It is just a simple syndrome that had an outbreak in Canterlot, made its way to Ponyville. Basically, if you get bit by an unreformed changeling, you kind of go a little bit insane for a bit. I think if you wanted to, you could go in depth to make it more scary. You know how in Cupcakes, Pinkie Pie cuts off like Rainbow Dash's cutie marks to wear? I feel like that would be a good indication of if you want to make it scarier, such as maybe ponies start cutting off other people's cutie marks to give other people the cutie marks. Or even maybe cutting off their own cutie mark to put on their own body. So like I said, there is room for the story to be a lot more disturbing. I'm just not very good at scary content, and I wanted to do what I was comfortable with. So I went with kind of a middle of the line, kind of scary, kind of normal, just average infection AU. If you guys want me to, I can do some more scary content. I'm just not very good at it, and I'm not good at drawing it, but I can. I am physically able. I just like drawing cute stuff. By the way, I am so sorry. I am so bad at drawing ponies. I tried my best, and I think it came out pretty okay. You made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh my god, literally all of the sweet comments you guys have been giving me have made me so happy. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying my content. I was so nervous about releasing content. You have no idea. I like making these kinds of videos. They're very fun. Sometimes a bit hard just because I'm still learning YouTube. But you guys showing me all this support just really shows that I can do it if I put my mind to it, you know? And I'm just really thankful. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers now, and I never thought I would get like 500, let alone 1,000. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. And to show my gratitude, we are going to announce the winner for my last raffle. If you guys watched that video, I promised that on the 31st, I would pick a random person from the comments and I would make them a custom character using my base. I used a random number generator, so I didn't pick who it was. It was just a random number and I went and found their comment. And the lucky winner was a user by the name GlitchyChaos13. Oh my god, congratulations. Their comment was so sweet. You guys are so nice to me. I super appreciate it. I cannot have enough words to tell you how much appreciation I have for you guys just commenting and liking on my stuff. I'm just so happy, and I hope you guys like my gaming content when I do make it. I know it's taking me a while. I'm sorry about that. I promise it's coming soon. I'm gonna do a Minecraft series or like a 7 Days to Die series, and I am really excited about it. So congratulations, Glitchy. Send me a email at SquishableMoon@yahoo.com, and I will of course make you a custom character. With that being said, I'm SquishableMoon. I hope all your dreams come true. I hope to see you guys next time. Toodaloo. Bye bye.